you will know if you're feeling irritable, if you're feeling more annoyed about just the people in general that you're with all the time. Trying to be cool in different situations when you're knowing that, when you realize that you're become angered so fast, especially if you have children in the house. So depressed, feeling anxiety, low of energy, these things are flags for us. Like I said, recognizing how your body feels, it's more important than for you to go and make sure that you get yourself some help, self-help, self-nourishing, by finding ways to relax you. uh, not knowing when something's coming up and your mind goes blank, unfocused. If you start drinking more than normal, if you like drinking wine, and if you're having a glass of wine and then all of a sudden you find yourself having a bottle of wine more than regular, it's those are signs. Anything that it's not normal from your other, from when you were normal in your outgoing life before, and you're cooped up with all these family members, trying to recognize these stressors is important for you. So what do you do when you're trying to recognize your stressors? Are you changing the slide, David?
Sorry?
Are you moving the slide?
Yes.
So ways to handle your stress. We have many ways to handle our stress. The first stress and the first alert of any of these symptoms that I explained to you is you have to call your health provider. No one else can give you any more better guidance than your health provider. Make sure that you reach out to your health provider. Also reaching out to family, reaching out to your friends, talking and give to your spouse if you have a spouse in the house, or giving yourself some time away from your children if that's what's stressing you out, because your stress is also putting stress on your children.
Yeah, and there's, like Lucila said, there's a lot of new things that that are stressing us out, and we may not have experienced them before. So our stressors may be different than they were before because we are at home more. Maybe we're eating more, so we need to have more healthy foods in the house to nosh on. Maybe we have to make sure that we're not drinking as much, or that we're turning off the TV if that's stressing us out. And like Lucila said, talking to your healthcare provider is a great thing to do. Scheduling your workout sessions is a great thing to do. But even something as simple as getting on the phone and talking to somebody before you explode, before something boils over, uh, so so that way you don't take it out on maybe somebody in your household or your family or or a colleague or someone like that. By talking to people about it, you get it out in the open. And if maybe you don't have somebody to talk to, maybe a meditation session, or maybe a breathing technique, or maybe possibly just a walk outside in the park, or outside where you can de-stress for a little bit and clear your mind. And one of the really good techniques that we like to use, that we promote a lot, is box breathing. And it's a technique that I like to use because it's very easy to do, it's very easy to remember, and you can do it pretty much anywhere. And what's great about it, it's a quick way to help lower your blood pressure. It's a quick way to bring yourself an immediate sense of calm in a very stressful situation. But you can use it in a stressful situation while you're working, if you're dealing with something with your family, or even if you're having trouble sleeping, if you have anxiety that way. So it's a very easy technique. And what I want all of us to do together is a couple of rounds of box breathing. Does everybody think we can do that?
Sure.
Yeah, sound good to everybody?
Sure.
All right,
Yes.
good. So it's really easy. We're gonna breathe in through our nose for 4 seconds. Then we're gonna hold for 4 seconds, breathe out through our mouths for 4 seconds, and then hold another 4 seconds before we do the next round. All right, so sit up straight in your chair, get in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and we're gonna breathe in through our nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Good. And then hold. 2, 3, 4. We'll do one more round. So we're going to breathe in through our nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And then hold. 2, 3, 4. Does everybody feel a little bit better after talking about what stresses them out for the last few minutes?
Yes, that actually feels good.
Yeah, it's good. So this is a technique that you can use in any situation, whether you're
David?
online. Yes.
I'll attest that this works wonders with children.
Yes.
I use this all the time when my girls are driving me crazy, especially the last couple of weeks. And it's something you have to be very mindful to do. But once you do it, it kind of brings better clarity to the situation, helps me realize that my 3-year-old is only 3 and didn't mean to do what she just did. But it can be very calming. You just have to be mindful of this as a technique to use.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the meditation too, because I just recently started doing that, and that is one of the things that really helps when you're being mindful. The mindfulness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's great about this is it's something that you can do quickly. And if you do have a large household, you can do it in your bedroom. You can do it in your closet. You can run into another room and just do it just to calm down for a few minutes. And all these tips are fine and well, it's great to learn about them. But what's really important when we're dealing with stress is to create a daily practice where we're able to combat stress pretty much before it even starts. So what we mean by that is, what are we doing in our daily lives to get ready for stress, to combat it? Where if a stressful situation comes up, are we prepared to handle it? And it could be little things like scheduling your day before it starts or the night before. It could be scheduling your workout. It could be scheduling make sure you get your meditation in the morning, being cognizant of when to take a break throughout your day. And one of the bigger things is being open to change, especially now with so much different news coming out every single day about what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. So many different changes in people's lives and jobs and family situations. Just be open to that change and be grateful that maybe things aren't as bad as they could be, or they're not as bad as your neighbor or another story that you've heard of. And these are a lot of things that I like to do. And people with family situations like Fallon, you may have something else. You may have other techniques that you use, right?
Yeah, a lot of what I have found to be very helpful, and Lucila talked about this earlier when we were discussing our happy hour, but sitting down together as a family has been a good change of pace for us, but it also has created less stress in being able to come together, talk about our day, hear our daughters out about what challenging this situation has been for them. So we are more mindful of what they're going through as well as what we're going through, has helped us all get through this together. And I think Lucila, she's on mute.
We'll unmute you, Lucila.
There we go. One day, a way to get through a daily practice is if you can schedule 2-3 days a week ahead, like this is what I'm going to do. In the morning, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go walk my dogs, I'm going to exercise. This is my breakfast, my lunch, dinner with the husband if the husband's home, dinner with the kids if the kids is home. Maybe once a week, plan a meal. Hey, you guys, what do you guys want to do? And bring that day together and everybody prepare. Not anything you do with your hands will always bring a way of calmness to people. And if your child is having a bad day that day, because we all have bad days, And if your spouse is having a bad day because he's been hearing the news all day, just get together and start preparing using your hands, the feel of the hand, anything that you're touching, and start speaking. This is a place where people start just wording things out that they normally won't be saying anything to you guys, especially if you have little ones in the house. This is as hard as it is for them as it is for us adults, because now you're working, now you're teaching class, now you're cooking, you're cleaning house, and it can build up. So in a way, make a schedule and follow it. If you have the children, put it where they can be, where they can see it. Children work by seeing stuff. If you put it up, they will see the schedule and they will remind you on stuff.
I also think it's good to remember, for those of you who don't have children in the house, that your spouse too, being mindful of what might be stressors for them, and also being open and honest with things that might be bothering us now because we're cooped up, we're at home, our daily routines have changed, and start the conversation early so that if it escalates, in the event that it escalates, you're not exploding over something that could have been helped earlier by a simple conversation.
Yeah,
and if you want to share anything, what works for them?
We both go to our art studios and we leave each other alone. And it works fine.
Yeah, that's
time apart
wonderful.
is very important.
And to help my daughter, I let her bring the kids over to the pool, and we have the adult section, that's mine and my husband's, and the kids section, and a separate bathroom for them. And it works 99% of the time.
That's good.
Sometimes they run up and they go, back off. But it helps her to have them come over here, and 9-year-olds release energy.
Yes. The pool is a great babysitter. If you have a pool, use it.
Yeah. So we finally figured that we could do that with a few rules. So we have them. There's the deep end for me, and I do my exercises, and they're in the shallow end. Then we rotate. We play ball back and forth. A lot of like basketball with this little hoop thing, and there's no catching the virus from a ball in the water. So, and we don't get close body-wise. So it's, I think, a good alternative. So that works. I have to say that I read a thing where people are on different boats in this storm, and I'm on a cruise ship. I know that because we get paid and we're happy and we're retired. We're not traveling, but we're doing a lot of stuff. Our yard looks really good.
Yeah, there you go, gardening.
The house is not as clean. I did clean the bathroom for the first time since we remodeled, and we were trying to figure what year that was. But I think it was 2 years ago. I've never washed the floor before. It gets washed, but not by me. So that was enlightening.
Yes, I can say that my kitchen is taking a beating right now.
Yeah. You have to laugh where you can see the humor of a situation. So that's what I do. I find something to joke about.
Yes. Laughter is important through all this.
And then I draw pictures of it and post it on Facebook. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And Carol, what you said is so important. It kind of brings us to the next thing, is being grateful for what you are able to do.
Yeah.
And for what you do have. And I do know that there are times where, for myself, it can be stressful just being inside the apartment. You wake up, sometimes you can't necessarily go where you want to. I can't go to a coffee shop. I can't go out to my favorite lunch spot or dinner spot. And as painful that is for me, even though it's such a little thing, that's part of my routine. But I try to remind myself of something to be grateful for every single day. It could be a big thing, it could be a small thing, and just writing it down and sharing it with my wife, it helps give us perspective that for us, we're still able to do a lot, and we have a lot to be grateful for, while other people are in much worse situations than us. So I think for our next activity, what we really want to do is share what we're grateful for today. And while myself, Lucila, and Fallon we'll share one thing that we're grateful for. If you guys want to chime in or write in the chat something that you're grateful for, that'd be really great, so that other people can see, because maybe it'll help them realize something that maybe they didn't see before, and they'll see it in a different light. So for me, something that I was grateful for is that I had the opportunity today to go on a nice walk early in the morning, because my wife and I, neither of us had a phone call, any calls for work to get on, which was really nice because it was still kind of cool. The sun wasn't out totally and beating down on us. There were a lot of really fun animals that we were able to see down by the river. So that was something that and there weren't a lot of people around either. So that was something that I was grateful to be able to get done at the beginning of my day, instead of getting all antsied up in the middle of the day for myself, which is what usually happens, is by around noon or 1 o'clock, I'm pacing between my living room and my bedroom to my kitchen, back to the living room, trying to get outside. So Fallon, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful that my daughters cleaned their room today without being asked.
Oh, that's nice. That usually doesn't happen.
Small victories.
Yeah.
So.
I am grateful for my dogs, because my husband is a first responder, and he's in and out of the house, and he works 24-hour shifts. So when he's not here, I have 3 dogs, and I don't feel alone. A friend used to tell me, if I ever feel alone when I'm at home, there's no such thing here.
Yeah.
They're like 2-year-olds. They keep me busy, and I have to keep moving with them. They're high energy dogs. So I am grateful for my dogs.
Yeah, that's really nice. And I saw that we had some comments. What are some of the comments that people are thankful for?
I have Elena Solis. She says she's grateful for being able to work remotely.
That's nice.
Keeping busy, I'm assuming.
Angelica.
Angelica Sepulveda. She, for the community of friends and family and working remotely. We have Debbie Barlett, to have time now and able to set her own schedule. Elena Solis, and healthy family.
Yeah, and those are very important things to remember. And when you do this, if this isn't a regular practice for you, just remember, it doesn't have to be this a big thing. It could be small things. It could be, the takeout place that I really like isn't going out of business. Or you can say, my friend had really good news and I'm really happy for them. And that's something that you can be grateful for. So if you're able to do something like that every day, that's something that's really important.
Oh, we have from Marlene Acup. Hi, Marlene.
Oh.
This is, she's grateful for walking at Choyas Lake with girlfriend and her auntie.
So
Nice.
Can I
Yeah.
say something?
Of course.
For me, I bought some note cards, and on the note cards is the word grateful. And then on the inside of the cards, I put little things like just a note to say, I'm thinking of you today, and thanks for being in my life, and I sent that to quite a few of my friends, because the art of written communication is almost lost. So it was nice for me to write those little note cards, and they weren't very big, maybe the size of your hand, but mailing them out and just having that handwritten note. I've gotten quite a few people that said, I forgot about the fact that we could actually write instead of email or Facebook or Messenger.
So grateful to the post office for delivering mail and packages.
Yes.
I communicate
yes.
with letters to all of my grandchildren and to many of my friends' grandchildren, because I usually send a drawing with the letter. So I get mail every day from kids that are 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th graders, and a couple high schools grandchildren. And that's really fun. They're telling me stuff that they don't normally share. It's kind of unique,
So you got some pen pals.
I do have pen pals. Yeah, it's fun. And they're meeting their writing assignments, Some even write to me in Spanish, which is a challenge, but they're in Spanish immersion. So, you know, I work through it slowly.
Good.
My dictionary. But it's fun. It's fun.
That
Good.
is really nice that you're
Yeah.
still able to write letters to your family, and it's not just a text message, because a text message that somebody can edit, it's, oh, they put a lot of thought into it because it's a letter and
Yeah.
all that. I like that. All right. So definitely create a gratitude list every day if you're able to, or even just in the times where you're feeling a little uneasy or feeling like things aren't going your way. So now something that goes hand in hand with stress is food, because how we eat can affect our stress levels. And when we are stressed, how we eat can help us combat that. So what we wanted to spend a little bit of time on today was focusing on healthy foods, and how we can navigate getting through the grocery store during this COVID-19 situation, because now people are kind of limited in the amount of time that they can spend in the stores. Maybe they're ordering food online, which makes options a little bit more limited. But I know Fallon, with her household, she buys food for a large household. She has a lot of really good tips on how we can focus on healthy foods.
Yeah, so one of the most important things that I try to keep in mind as it relates to grocery shopping and just cooking for my family in general is looking up healthy recipes and taking notes of the ingredients. Doesn't mean I have to stick to that recipe. I'm not the biggest fan of following recipes, but it gives me ideas and ways that I can make changes when necessary and use different types of foods in different ways. One of the biggest things I like to remember is to try to substitute out high calorie ingredients whenever possible. So some examples of that is substituting mayo and sour cream for non-fat Greek yogurt. I was a little skeptical of this one for a while, but after you do it for a while, your taste buds kind of change, they get used to it. The other one that you can switch out a lot for is applesauce for oil whenever you're baking. This cuts down significantly on calories for different things such as banana bread or other baking items that might use a significant amount of oil. You can either also do a half and half. So if it calls for a cup of oil, you can use half a cup of applesauce, half a cup of oil. And then also looking at things such as, when you can switch out brown rice for white rice. Use fresh herbs instead of the dried herbs. Sometimes they can be higher in salt content. And also, whenever possible, taking a look at when you can sub out ground beef or lean cuts of meat. I know meat right now, there's a lot of talk about it being hard to find or there might be shortages. So don't beat yourself up if you can't find, or it might be a little overpriced. If you have to pick out higher cuts of higher fat content meat, just be mindful to drain it out, maybe even rinse it off after you're done cooking it to help clear out some of those oils. And then also just keep in mind that recipes allow you to stay focused on a specific food option while giving you the opportunity to make healthy adjustments. A lot of times I find that if I don't have a recipe or a meal plan for the day, I find myself either being too tired to make something or not wanting to think about it, or finding myself thinking of easier options that sometimes aren't always the healthiest. Yeah, the next slide. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I just wanted to add, and when it comes to recipes, we can go online and find these 30 ingredient recipes with 50 steps to do it, and it seems like it's just too much to try to figure out and get all these ingredients from the grocery store, especially now. But you can easily Google, 3 ingredient recipes or 5 ingredient recipes, things that are very simple to put together with staples that that you can easily find in the grocery store. So if you're not one for recipes, because they're long and there's a lot of ingredients usually, definitely Google some easy recipes, 3 ingredient recipes to help you out.
So grocery shopping. Biggest tip, make sure you bring a list. I find if I don't have a list, I start unnecessarily shopping for things, and it's always the most unhealthy options. Know that in grocery stores, the healthier options are always located on the outskirts. So all your fruits, vegetables, meats, and other healthy items are on the outer parts of the grocery store. So try and stay away from the inner aisles whenever possible. Avoid any fruits and vegetables that are in sauces or fruit juice that adds sugar and calories. Frozen foods are a great option if you can't find it fresh. And also check your canned foods to make sure that there's no added salt or sugar. Anything that says low sodium that's canned is a better option whenever possible.
Yeah, and if you,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're going to the grocery store, try to go to one that you're familiar with, especially if you're making a list. That way, if you know where things are, it's much easier. It's much easier on you.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
The problem I have is my husband has the one that shops. I haven't been to a store in months, and he has a list, and it has 7 items, and it comes back 7 bags. And I cooked a pork shoulder roast. I would never even buy this thing. It was the size of a small pig. I could barely get it in my crock pot, and we're going to be eating this for weeks. I mean, I shredded it and got it in baggies now, put a date on it, but oh my God. And he does it. And I go, why? It was on sale. That's it.
Maybe send pictures if you send a spouse.
Yeah.
I do that with my husband.
He knows right where to go. And he knows that I only shop the vegetable aisle, the meat, and the dairy, and that's it. But you know, the first time he went, I said, this is when everyone was panicked over everything. And I said, just buy whatever you want. I don't know what we don't need. We need vegetables, but buy what you want. Well, that was a mistake, $200 or $300 mistake.
No.
Well,
So,
you just have to make sure to tell him that he's cooking dinner until it's all gone.
we have delineated chores. I cook because I don't trust him.
Oh, no wonder he buys all this stuff then.
Yeah. And I go, do you want dessert tonight? A little ice cream? And he goes, oh no, I'm full. And I go, I didn't serve him that much. I said, what have you been doing? Well, he bought, little pizza snacks and little energy bar snacks, things that are just so full of processed crap and salt. And so he stuffs himself on those, but we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
It kind of goes into my next tip, which is if it says low fat, low calorie, all natural, that doesn't mean it's healthy. So check labels and go fresh whenever possible, because a lot of those things, like you said, have fillers in them, and they're not necessarily the healthy fillers. Also, make sure that you're not shopping when you're hungry. This is probably something that I need to remember a little bit more often, because it will lead to you making unnecessary purchases more often than not. Make sure you wash and cut and pre-cut fruits and vegetables. Those can help with snacking throughout the day if you have them already prepared in your fridge. You don't have to take the time to cut them up. And then also, whenever possible, check and see if the organic option is on sale or might be cheaper than the alternative. This can be with eggs, fruit, vegetables. Sometimes they can be more reasonably priced or be on sale.
Yeah, and if you're shopping and you really want to make an effort to get organic or get the healthiest cut of meat, but you simply can't afford it, or if it's not available, don't completely don't feel like a failure, because it's okay. Like if you go out to get the organic version, but you feel like, it's a little too expensive, don't feel bad about it. That's not the biggest it's not the biggest issue that you're going to face when shopping. So
yeah, if you need eggs, buy whatever they have.
yeah, if you need the food, get the food. Don't spend too much time worrying about if it's organic or if it's not. There's best options available. but if you're going to be, if you, if it's a matter of getting something or not getting something, definitely just get what you can.
And Debbie had a great idea. She wrote in the chat box, making a meal double the quantity and then freezing it for a day when you're not able to make a wholesome, healthy meal. That's a great idea and a good one to remember.
So I know Fallon mentions making sure that you have a grocery list, and this is something that we came across that's been very helpful for us. It's kind of it's a more heavy duty grocery list. I know Fallon, I think you've used this before, have you?
I did. I have used it. I marked out stuff that maybe my family doesn't like, or hummus is not a favorite in my household, so I just marked that off. One of my daughters is also allergic to peanuts, so the nuts we've had to mark off. But this is a helpful list. It breaks it down into different nutrient groups. But we will share this with you guys via email and on our social media too, so you have it. And you can also build your own list off of it. You don't have to necessarily use this one, but it might help your thought process when you are making your own personal list. These are some healthy, I say healthy kid-approved snacks, but I will tell you some of these are amazing. The banana sushi is one of my favorites. It's simple, it's super healthy. It gets my kids involved in making things. It's as simple as you take a banana and roll it in any type of nut butter. For us, we do Nutella. Like I said, we have a peanut allergy in our house. And you can, so you roll it in there and you could top it with either Rice Krispies, nuts, strawberries, blueberries, and chop it up, and it just becomes a fun yet healthy treat. This is much better than grabbing a processed food. And we've done this before. I've done not so healthy toppings too, but in moderation, anything is okay. I just make sure I put out only what I'm willing to let my girls eat that day in chocolate or other alternatives to that. The next idea is a healthy fruit and veggie platter. You could also add cold cut meats to this. But what we've done before is we've sat this out on our kitchen table all day so that our girls can go back and forth between snacking on this. And this keeps them from snacking on the chips and the cookies and the crackers and stuff all in pre-processed things. But we'll set it out on our kitchen table and keep it out for an hour or two with fruit and different vegetables. We've also used different dips with Greek yogurt using the ranch dip mix so they can dip their veggies in it.
Which photo is yours? I'm coming if it's the middle one.
We've done both of these actually. So these are just good, good healthy alternatives.
Fallon, you said that you're going to bring samples of all of these when we first reopen, right?
Yes, the banana sushi for sure. And this last idea on here is just a way, especially for the toddlers, to make healthy snacks a little bit of a funner meal. So you can take an ice cube tray and put different little options in it along with little dips. Just makes it fun. They're not necessarily thinking about what the food is. It's more of a creative way to get them to dip, mix and match, try different things. And if they don't like it, you're only wasting a small portion of it instead of having a large portion on a plate. Also helps a little bit with portion management for some of the kiddos who are still learning that as well.
So one last activity that we wanted to do before, when it comes to food and groceries and going out to eat, with all the bars and restaurants being closed, it would be nice if everybody could share a food or restaurant that you're missing most and can't wait to have once we reopen. I know for me, I can't wait to go to a coffee shop and just order a cup of coffee and sit down and for 2 hours too long there and just drink cup after cup of coffee with a with a good pastry or something. What about you guys?
Sushi. I cannot wait to go sit at a sushi restaurant with my husband. To go sushi just isn't the same, but I cannot wait.
I'd rather go to one of my friends' house or have them to
Mhm.
my house and just sit in the patio and be able to sit in the same part of the patio and eat off the same veggie platter like you showed us. That looked good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even that sounds nice. Just having a
that
get
does.
together with
Yeah.
friends.
Well, I add wine, of course. We have not denied us that. One a day, but not denied.
Important.
Did a couple of people share in the comments what they were missing?
Elena wrote she's looking forward to Starbucks. Me
Yes.
too.
Yes, definitely. Anything else? Sushi?
I'm looking
coffee,
forward to, like Carol, getting together with my friends in my house, and everybody brings a dish, and we have
Yeah,
wine,
exactly.
and we laugh, and we put music. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that's what I miss the most is my friends over. And Zoom, while it hurts our cheeks because we laugh so much, it's not the same.
Yeah. So we have Debbie Barlett, mostly being in the company of friends and eating and drinking together. We have Elena Solis, high school graduation for my son with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good things that we're missing out on, but hopefully it doesn't go on for much longer. All right, so we went over a lot of really good information today, and we just want to let you know that a lot of this information that we did go over, plus some more workout videos and other content, can be found very easily on our social media pages, Health First Fitness Club on Facebook and on Instagram, healthfirstfitnessclub.com. That's our website. We do have a section with a lot of really good workouts and content. It's the temporary closure tab at the top of the screen of our website. We are sending out emails and text messages pretty much daily, every other day, with some really good articles and workouts in there too. And if you're somebody who really enjoys group exercise classes, Exos at Home is a great resource where you can get free workout classes provided to you. You just sign up, you don't have to pay anything for them. And then we're hoping in the near future to have some of your favorite instructors being able to provide some virtual classes for you as well. So that's something that we're excited to have on the horizon. But in the meantime, just stick with these. Always email us through the website or at our email, hffc@swccd.edu, or on our social media pages. What do you want? What do you want to see more of? And we're happy to get that to you and provide anything that you can. So has anybody been using any of these
Well,
resources regularly?
David, also, if you guys want to now subscribe to the Health First YouTube page, that will allow you to get an alert when the instructor workout classes do start up. So if you can subscribe to it now, so that it's on the top of your feed.
And that's just Health First Fitness Club when you search into YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that takes us to the end of this. We just wanted to take some time. If anybody has any questions about any of the content that we went over today, anything that they want to share, anything that maybe we glanced over or wanted to review.
All good information.
Good.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you guys and to hear what you guys are doing. And this is just another way that we're going to communicate from now on. So it keeps us interested in other people, what they're still doing. We're not alone in this.
Yeah, like Lucila said, you're not alone. And the most important thing is to stay in contact with, we want to stay in contact with you and provide you with the best service and just make sure that you're okay. And we want you guys to stay in touch with us and with your family and your dogs.
If you guys ever feel like any of this information or content would be of benefit to your family and friends, please feel free to invite them. You can share the link with them. We're happy to have them as part of our virtual happy hours.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that, Fallon. So does anybody have any questions? Was there anything in the chat box?
No, just thank you. Thank you guys for being here with us too.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. Look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Yep. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much.